This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We get set for Game 2 here between ICC and Northeast. Lady Indians picked up an 8-0 win in 5 innings. In Game 1, our Sonic star of the game, Bailey Springfield, impressive inside the circle and at the plate as well. And this is going to be Olivia Burns starting here. First pitch goes for a strike, and it comes at 2:52. So able to get the first game started early and able to get Game 2 started early here as well. So Burns will be welcomed by Deal, Tarpley, and Wallace. And that pitch across for a strike, 0-2 is the count here. Quickly to the center fielder, Deal. In Game 1, Deal went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Takes a look at that one. That pitch missing outside for a ball. Not a bad spot to miss, as that one just missing outside. 1-2 now goes the count. We're going to have to do away with our second camera here in Game 2 as the sun is just eating it alive. So 1-2 is the count. That pitch drifts up high, 2-2. Now is the count. Try to take a look at some Sonic stats on Olivia Burns here. Inside the circle, she's 4-2. She's given up 25 hits, 14 runs, 12 of those earned. She's walked 14, has struck out 18, and has a 2.96 ERA. So Deal, the center fielder, will dig in here with a 2-2 count. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Good start to the contest there for Burns. Gets a Renaissance Bank strikeout of Deal.
Number 19, Brianna Tarpley.
And now it will be the third baseman, Tarpley. So 1 out. Nobody on here. Tarpley will try to get the bats fired up here for Northeast. Bailey Springfield went 5 innings, gave up no hits, no runs. Obviously none of those earned. 2 walks, struck out 9, faced 15. That pitch across for a strike. As we'll give you the starting lineups for both teams in between innings here. That pitch missing high for a ball. So Tarpley, she went 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the first game of the afternoon. ICC trying to find a sweep with the rivals. That pitch across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. It's been a minute since either one of these teams have gotten a sweep over one another. It's pretty much been splits over the last few years. We'll try to look at some of the stats. Is that pitch missing outside for a ball? Of course, we talk about these extra stats. They're brought to you by the Sonic in Fulton, also being provided by the ICC, or excuse me, the Northeast SID. Blake Long always doing a great job out there for Northeast. We'll take a look at some of those notes throughout the ball game. 2-2 pitch coming. This pitch popped up, fouled out of play. We'll stay at 2-2. The Tigers are 6-4 overall. They're 1-0 in conference play. ICC improved to 10-3 with the first game, 1-0 in conference play. Neither team are ranked, and they have been battling some rain. Change up, popped up. Shortstop goes back and squeezes it for the putout for out number 2. That's Bailey Springfield, who's now playing shortstop here in Game 2.
Number 21, Callie Wallace.
Callie Wallace. She was the player of the week coming into this series after batting .737, with a .737 on base percentage, .583 batting. She had 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 8 runs scored offensively. She also had a win and 2 saves inside the circle to help the Tigers go 4-1 last week. So an impressive outing for Kaylee Wallace. So 2 away and nobody on. That pitch drifts up high. And Northeast, a lot like us, haven't been able to get in a lot of their games because of the rain. Of course, the rain has affected everybody. Change up. Just missed. And he calls it a strike. He's got a little delay on his call. Call that one a strike. 2-1 now goes the count here on the DP Wallace. So 2-1 now is the count with 2 outs and nobody on here for Wallace. And that change up falls across for a strike, even with the count now at 2-2. So nicely done there. So 2-2 is the count. Pitch coming. And there's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Brought to you by Renaissance Bank, and 3 up, 3 down. Go the Tigers. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base in the top of the first. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups being brought to you by Coke. And let's start with Northeast. For Northeast, it's Dill leading things off. She's the center fielder. Tarpley is the third baseman. Wallace, the DP. Those are the 3 batters you just saw at the plate. The rest of the lineup, batting 4th will be the first baseman, Holden. And right field, batting 5th will be Jones. At catching and batting 6th, Van Manen. 7th, batting 7th, playing left field will be Frazier. The shortstop, batting 8th, will be Webb. And batting 9th will be Sheffield, the ninth batter, playing second base. Harris is inside the circle here for the Tigers. Take a look at some Sonic stats on Harris. Taylor Harris, 1-1 on the year. She's pitched 20 2/3 innings. She's given up 18 hits, 14 runs, 9 of those earned. She's walked 14, struck out 10. She has a .305 ERA. That is your Sonic stats on the game 2 pitcher Harris for Northeast. Due up for the Indians to be the 1, 2, 3 batters. Corey Childs in center field, Meg Sullivan in right field, and Sam Conley catching. The rest of the lineup looks like this for ICC. Batting 4th, first baseman Shelby Newsom. Batting 5th, shortstop Bailey Springfield. Batting 6th is Macy Cox. She'll be the DP. Pitching and batting 7th will be Olivia Burns. And left field will be Hannah Williams, batting 8th, and Vasquez will be the third baseman, batting 9th, and the flex player will be second baseman Madison Carnes. So Childs will lead things off here for the Indians in the bottom of the first. And the pitch taken for a strike. Well, so far, much like game 1, a very generous strike zone, a pitcher's strike zone this afternoon. Bailey Springfield had 9 strikeouts, throwing a no-hitter in the first game. As this pitch fouled back out of play, we'll move now to 0-2. Childs was 0 for 1 with a run scored. She walked. I believe she was also hit by a pitch in that first game. Takes a look at that one. Ground ball to second baseman. Scoop, throw over in time for the putout. 4-3 of the putout of Childs for out number 1. Now up will be the right fielder, Meg Sullivan.
Number 15, Meg Sullivan.
Sullivan went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. As she will dig in here trying to get things started. Harris in the circle here for Northeast in game 2. That first pitch missing low and inside for a ball. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the first inning here in game 2 between ICC and Northeast, the conference opener for both teams this afternoon. And there's a flare out to right field. Right fielder's going to have to hurry and makes the diving play. Well, don't know if she saw it cleanly, kind of had to adjust and come back and make the play. And so she was able to make the diving effort out there in right field to retire Sullivan. If that ball's down, Sullivan's running for days. And so a great effort out there in right field by Jones. So now up is going to be Samantha Conley, the catcher, trying to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians in the bottom of the first. That first pitch in the dirt for a ball. If Conley were to reach, then the first baseman Newsom is on deck for the Indians. Samantha on the day went 2 for 2, had 2 RBIs, and walked. That was her game 1 numbers. That pitch, a beauty across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count here to Conley. Sun continuing to set here in Fulton and is continuing to cook us here in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Waiting the pitch here, that pitch high. 2-1 now is the count on Conley. Northeast went 3 up, 3 down on a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts in the top half of the inning. ICC trying to avoid that here in the bottom half. That pitch inside, just a little too much for the umpire's liking. Nobody really to appeal to on that call there. And 3-1 now goes the count here on Conley. So Conley awaiting the 3-1 pitch. Looks at that one low and takes it for a ball. So Conley will get the free pass, and now up will be first baseman, the number 4 batter, Shelby Newsom. Newsom was 1 of 3 in the first game of the afternoon.
Shelby Newsom.
Indians trying to get the 2-out rally sparked here. Beautiful day at the ballpark. See a lot of fans sitting out in the outfield enjoying the day. A ton of fans coming in to support Northeast this afternoon as well. Newsom swings on the first pitch she sees, lifts it out to center field. The center fielder will jog underneath it and squeeze it for the putout. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We're scoreless after 1 here in Fulton, ICC Northeast. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this. Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
Quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger with crispy golden tots for just $2.99.
Makes me kind of want to do a double take.
Double the beef.
Double the cheese.
Double the smiles.
Oh, yeah.
For a limited time, get a quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger and tots for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back now as we head to the top of the second inning. Scoreless here in Game 2 between ICC and Northeast. ICC picked up an 8-0 win in 5 innings in Game 1. Northeast trying to avoid the sweep. ICC trying to improve to 2-0 inside conference play. ICC on the year, as we talked about, 10-3.
Number 13, Austin Holden.
And Northeast 6-4 on the year. So to be Holden, Jones, and Van Manen due up here. As Burns, first pitch missing low for a ball. Olivia got a 3 up, 3 down inning after a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts in the top of the first. Trying to keep things rolling here for the Indians as we move to the top of the second. That pitch inside corner for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Let's give you the Coca-Cola defensive lineup here for the Indians after this pitch coming from Burns. And this pitch, foul ball, they say, as it was fouled off the batter. Inside the circle, Olivia Burns. Behind the plate is Sam Conley. JoJo Vasquez at third. Shortstop is Bailey Springfield. Second baseman, that is Madison Carnes. And first base is Shelby Newsom. Outfield moving left to right. That is going to be Hannah Williams, center fielder Corey Childs, and in right field Meg Sullivan. That is your Coca-Cola lineup on the field, our defensive setup here for the Indians. This pitch lifted to the gaps, trouble, and it's going to drop. So the first hit of the day for the Tigers, and it comes from Holden, a leadoff single to start the ball game here, as that one just put out in the middle of nowhere as a diving effort from Corey Childs, couldn't find it. And a long run for the right fielder, Meg Sullivan, couldn't find it as well, so that one just dropped, put it where they ain't that time for Holden. And it is the first hit of the game, and for Northeast, first hit of the day, I should say, for Northeast. And now up will be the right fielder, Jones, for the Tigers. So with a runner on first and no outs now, pitch is high, 4-ball. See how Burns reacts to the runner in scoring position here early on. Awaiting the pitch here. 1-0 is the count. And that pitch across for a strike. This is Jones at the plate. She is the right fielder. This pitch popped up. Conley's going to go back, but it's going to get out of play. So that's nothing but a strike there as it drops back in behind the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. I do want to remind you that tomorrow is the 22nd annual ICC Gospel and Bluegrass concert at the Davis Event Center. Tickets are still available at iccms.edu/concert, or you can order tickets at the door or pick up your tickets at the door. Doors open at 3, music starts at 4. That's the 22nd annual ICC Bluegrass and Gospel concert benefiting the ICC Foundation. Of course, a lot of that money goes towards scholarships for students here at ICC. That last pitch missing for a ball, 2-2 now is the count. This pitch fouled off, and we'll stay at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, and a runner on first here. That's Holden, who dropped a single out there in right center. And so now 2 balls, 2 strikes, pitch coming. Falls off the table a little too soon. Runner's going to try to take second, and she will. So a stolen base for Holden. Picked a pretty good pitch to run on that time, as it was a changeup that fell off the table a little too soon, got in the dirt, and just could not glove it cleanly that time. So now 3-2 is the count here on Jones. Jones rips it down the line, and that's going to score a run. Big time hit there for Jones. And that's going to be a double for Jones. A big time stolen base as well. An RBI double for Jones. And Northeast takes a 1-0 lead. Well, a clutch hit there for Jones, as we're in the top of the second, 1-0. And the Tigers take their first lead of the afternoon after their first 2 hits of the day. That was just an impressive hit. That's what we talked about in Game 1, folks. This Northeast team is an extremely good hitting team.
Number 14, Elizabeth.
Really speaks loudly for that no-hitter that Bailey Springfield tossed in the first game. And now up is going to be the catcher, Van Manen. Shows the bunt, fouls it back for strike 1. Trying to play a little small ball here is Northeast to see if they can put that runner a little bit closer in scoring position. Already at second after a double. No outs, a runner on second, 1-0. Northeast with the lead here in the top of the second. Van Manen, the catcher, at the plate. Van Millen out of Pella, Iowa. Pitch out that time, toss in. They're going to try to sneak up the center fielder to see if they can maybe get Northeast kind of cheat a little bit that time. Dove back safely. So a toss out there, 1-1 now is the count. So 1-1 pitch coming. Change up, and it's a beauty for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Van Manen. Good to see former ICC softball players between the innings, or should I say, excuse me, between the games. Mamie Hollandhead and Maura Jane Autry stopping by, and there's a swinging strike 3. Fastball that time just could not catch up with it. The third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for,
9, Callie Frazier.
let's see, that was for Burns. And now there's one out in the inning. And now with a runner on second, this is going to be Frazier coming to the plate, the left fielder, trying to keep this inning rolling here. A double by Jones pushed across a run. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. That was after back-to-back hits there to start this inning. A single by Holden, then a stolen base. She scored on a rip down the left field line, resulted in a double for Jones. That pitch missing low and inside, 1-1 now is the count. We do welcome those watching on Let'sGoICCTV.com. We apologize for the issues in Game 1 as AT&T, the internet dropped out, so we're actually having to switch to my personal Wi-Fi provider. As that pitch fouled out of play, and 1-2 now goes the count. 1 ball, 2 strike as that one was fouled out of play. There is a runner on second with 1 out here in the top of the second. So the 1-2 pitch coming here for Burns. This one lifted but foul, and we'll stay at 1-2. So Springfield pitches a dime in the first game, a no-hitter, and now 2 hits and 1 run put on the board here in Game 2 for the Tigers here in the top of the second inning. So Burns getting set to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Not a bad spot to miss. See if you couldn't get her to chase one that time after fouling off a couple of pitches. 2-2. Now goes the count here on Frazier. Frazier does not play in the first game of the day. Getting the start here in left field in Game 2. So 2-2 is the count with 1 out and a runner on second here for the Tigers. Pitch coming, foul back and out of play. We'll stay at 2-2. Nice at bat right now by Frazier, fouling off some pitches, getting deep in the pitch count here, allowing her teammates to see a lot of pitches from Burns. So 1-0 is your score. We're in the top of the second, Game 2 between ICC and Northeast. Burns getting her directions from the dugout, getting set to deliver now. The 2-2 pitch. Change up, ripped, and it was bobbled, and that's going to be throw to second. It's not in time. A error over there at third allows Frazier to reach. As she was in front of it that time, gloved it, but the ball just popped out of her glove, tried to throw to second. And now up is going to be the shortstop, Webb. So a 1-out error puts runners on first and second. So the Indians showed bunt, pulled back on it, takes it for a ball. We'll see how the defense would react that time. So now the Indians in a little bit of jam here in the top of the second with runners on first and second and 1 out. And this is Webb, the shortstop, at the plate. She too did not bat or did not play in the first game. First pitch missing for a ball. That pitch across for a strike, even the count now at 1-1. The Indians would love to see a Little Caesars double play here to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. Sheffield, the second baseman, is on deck for the Tigers. Shows the bunt and fouls it off. Pretty good pitch to bunt on that time as the changeup came. Just could not quite get enough of the contact of the ball that time. And so now the count goes 1-2 here on Webb. So awaiting the pitch here from Burns. And ICC fans thought that was a strike, but the umpire said, no, that's a ball. 2-2 now is the count here on Webb. I'll tell you what, Northeast doing a good job being patient here in the top of the second. Burns has thrown a lot of pitches already. And there's a looking strike 3. Paints that inside corner there for the 4th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Olivia Burns. And that's a big one there. 2 outs now as we move to the number 9 batter, the second baseman, and this is going to be Sheffield for the Tigers. So Sheffield will dig in with runners on first and second and 2 outs. That pitch, ooh, yeah, I was going to say a little delay on the call. I was like, I don't like the same pitch as the last one, but he did call it for a strike. 0-1 now is the count here on Sheffield. Sheffield did not bat or did not play in the first game. Takes a look at that one, low and inside. 1-1 now is the count to Sheffield. So 1-1 now is the count. There's 2 outs. Runners on first and second here for the Tigers. They lead it 1-0 in the top of the second. That pitch across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Sheffield. So Sheffield, the number 9 batter. So ICC trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. A RBI double. Is that one missing for a ball? An RBI double by Jones, score Holden, who singled, stole second. And that was to start the inning. Since then, it's been a strikeout, error, strikeout. And that's where we sit right now here with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 runners on. And, whoa. Pretty good-looking pitch there. As a matter of fact, the ICC players were heading to their dugout. Northeast players were walking to their dugout that was on the bases. So now the count goes full here. You got to think if this is remotely close, the umpire's got to make up for that last call there. Beautiful pitch by Burns. Pitch coming and fouled off, and we'll do it all over again. So a nice battle at the plate. Actually, take a look at it. Frazier, Webb, and Sheffield all have had pretty nice at-bats. 3-2 is the count. 2 outs. Runners on first and second here for the Tigers. And this pitch is popped up. Conley's going to get back to it and get the out. Nicely done that time by Samantha Conley to discard the mask and find the ball and get the put out. So 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. ICC needs to find an answer here in the bottom half of the second. Northeast leads it 1-0 here in Game 2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
And welcome back to action now as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Where to be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up here for the Indians. Bailey Springfield, Macy Cox, and Olivia Burns. 1-0 is your score. Northeast with the lead here in Game 2. ICC won the first game of the day, 8-0 in 5 innings.
Bailey Springfield.
Bailey Springfield, she had an impressive Game 1 effort. She had a pair of doubles. As Bailey was 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. She also walked. We talked about it, tossed a no-hitter in the first game of the day. Springfield chases an inside pitch, and it's going to drift over and bounce off the fence. Good effort over there by the third baseman and left fielder and shortstop to try to get to it. Just ran out of the real estate as that one goes for a strike. 1-1 now is the count here to Bailey Springfield, who is playing in shortstop here in Game 2. Bailey was a tough out in the first game of the day. As a matter of fact, they basically decided to walk her in her third at-bat. Time is taken as Sheffield's bow fell out. Or, excuse me, Springfield's bow fell out. 1-0, ICC trailing in this one. Bottom of the second, Game 2. And Springfield takes that pitch off the knee, even trying to get out of the way, still gets hit by it. And so she will trot down to first base. Probably going to give her a second to try to run that one off, as that one caught her on the side of the knee there.
Macy Cox.
And they're giving Springfield a moment to kind of jog it loose, as now at the plate is going to be the DP, Macy Cox. Cox pushed across the eventual game-ending run on a fielder's choice to give the Indians the 8-0 win in 5 innings in Game 1. So Macy, out of Troy, Tennessee, will dig in. Looks at that first pitch, high for a ball. Harris is in the circle. It's done pretty good. She walked one in the top of the first. Didn't really run into any issues there after the walk. They were able to get a fly out to center field. Cox is going to show bunt, now pulls back, swings on it, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting that time for Macy Cox, as she was able to find that one and just put it where they ain't, as they say. She dropped that one between the third baseman who came in that time. Shortstop stayed in her position. Dropped it out to shallow left for the first hit of the day here for the Indians. So now ICC with something brewing here in the bottom of the second. They trail 1-0. This is going to be Olivia Burns coming to the plate. Olivia could really help out her own cause here with a base hit, as she is the pitcher in the circle here for Game 2 for the Indians. She's the number 7 batter. Hannah Williams is on deck for the Indians. No outs, runners on first and second here for ICC. Shows bunt, gets it down nicely. Only one play, and that's to first, as Burns had to reach up high to get that one that time. 3-4 on the putout. And a good sacrifice bunt laid down that time by Olivia Burns to move the runners into scoring position. And of course, when we talk about that sacrifice bunt, we talk about the ICC BSU, reminding you the ultimate sacrifice, paid for our sins. That's the ICC BSU. Hannah Williams at the plate now, takes that first pitch, a beauty for a strike. 0-1 is the count here to Williams, the left fielder. The ICC BSU, for students and for anyone interesting, they meet Monday nights at 7:07, also Wednesdays at lunch. This pitch fouled straight back. 0-2 now is the count for Hannah Williams. All they ask is you bring $2 and a friend. Don't forget the $2 for that friend. That's the ICC BSU, the oldest organization on campus here at ICC. So 0-2 now is the count with one out. Runners on second and third for the Indians. They trail 1-0. Bottom of the second, Game 2. Williams pops this one up, and it's going to tag up the runner, and they're going to throw it to third to keep the runner at second, so a sacrifice fly. And that will be a RBI. And now we're tied 1-1 now as Bailey Springfield comes across to score. Nice job of execution there for ICC. That sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC BSU. They're going to appeal to third, and the infield umpire didn't even motion it safe for out. So he kind of just looked at him and looked back at the pitcher like, really? You going to challenge that? So now with 2 outs, tie ball game, 1-1. Runner at second. This is JoJo Vasquez, the third baseman. JoJo looks at that first pitch across for a strike. Well, you got a very small strike zone when JoJo comes to the plate, so you got to be pretty accurate when you toss it. And that first pitch of the knee is called a strike. Change up, and that's a beauty. Quickly hitting the count now is Harris, and those were 2 great pitches. Upstairs, downstairs, 0-2 now is the count. So Harris trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. That pitch on the outside. Kind of a little throwaway pitch that time for Harris to see if she can get Vasquez to chase one. She did not. 1-2 now goes the count. Runner at second, that's Macy Cox. She had a single. 1-1 is your score. Vasquez pops this one up a mile high and catches it for the third out of the inning. So that will end it there for the Indians. So the Indians get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll step away and come back with more here on Let'sGoICCTV.com right after this.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza, pizza.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation. And welcome back now as we move to the top of the third inning. ICC Northeast tied 1-1 after each team was able to push across and run there in the second inning. It was a RBI double for Jones, and then it was a sac fly for Hannah Williams. Is where we're at right now in the contest. We go back to the top of the lineup here, and this is going to be Deal, the center fielder, at the plate. She struck out swinging. One of 4 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the afternoon for Burns. So the infield coming in. First baseman playing at normal depth. Second, short, and third in tight. That pitch, just missing low for a ball. So Deal takes that first pitch. Low for ball 1. There's a big gap out there in right center. If she can get something over the head of the second baseman, she could be running for days. That pitch missing outside. 2-0 now is the count. As Corey Childs shifting over to her right, our left here on the screen. So 2-0 is the count. Burns missing on that one. 3-0 now is the count here to Deal. So Deal quickly ahead in the count here. You got to feel like the red light will be on here for Deal with a 3-0 count. So Burns set to deliver. And that pitch right down Broadway clips the side of the plate. 3-1 now is the count. So Deal trying to find her way on to start this inning here for the Tigers. 1-1 is your score in the top of the third, game 2. And that pitch missing high. And ball 4 is the call. So for the second straight inning, the Tigers will get the leadoff runner on base here.
Number 19, Brianna Tarpley.
So this will be Tarpley, who popped up to the shortstop for the second out of the first inning. We'll dig in here. And so Burns will dig in. 1-1 is your score, game 2. At first pitch, missing for a ball. If you're just now joining us, ICC picked up an 8-0 win in 5 innings after a no-hitter by Bailey Springfield. She had 9 strikeouts, walked 2 in that game. She also went 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and a walk with a pair of doubles in that game as well. So the Indians coming in and want to talk things over as Conley comes out to talk to her pitcher. You also saw a brief conversation between the corners that time, first and third, as Vasquez and Newsom wanted to talk something over. 1-1 is the score. 1-0 is the count. And the Indians caught a break there as the runner faked the steal, turned around to come back that time, didn't quite pick up the ball, had got away from the catcher quick enough. And so a big-time break there for ICC to keep the runner over at first. So Tarpley with a 2-0 count. Deal at first after a walk. Swings on this one, pops it up. And the left fielder is going to come in and get the putout. Well, thought Hannah Williams might have been a little confused that time as she charged back pretty hard, then had to run up and get the putout for out number 1. And now this will bring Wallace, the DP, to the plate.
Number 21.
Wallace struck out swinging
Callie
to end
Wallace.
the first. She was the second of 4 Renaissance Bank strikeouts so far in the game for Olivia Burns. So a runner at first, there's 1 out. Maybe a little pitch out there to see if the runner thought about going that time. Ball one. This is the first conference doubleheader of the season for both teams. ICC 1-0 inside conference play after the first win of the day. Northeast 0-1. Runner does go now. Throw to second is not in time. And that's going to be a stolen base there for Deal. Just got a good pitch to run on that time. As the ball, as Conley tried to sling that one down in a hurry, one hopped it to second. And an easy stolen base there for Deal. So with one out now and a runner on second, Burns struggling a little bit. ICC does have somebody up in the bullpen. I believe that baby Macy Cott's getting loose. Is that pitch across for a strike? 2-1 now is the count. Yes, that's Macy Cott's getting loose in the bullpen for the Indians. So Wallace is at the plate. She's got a 2-1 count after striking out to end the first. There's a runner on second with one out here for the Tigers. This pitch fouled out of play. It evens the count now at 2-2. So 2-2 with one out and a runner on second here for the Tigers. We're in the top of the third inning. 1-1 ICC and Northeast in game two. So the Tigers awaiting the pitch here. 2-2 pitch coming. This one popped up. Trouble. But a great play out at second by Madison Carnes. The diving catch over her shoulder, stretched out and got it for the out. Boy, if you're Olivia Burns, you may want to run over and hug Carnes after that play. What an effort by the sophomore out of North Pontotoc High School to make that diving catch for the second out of the inning. So ICC, boy, if they can get out of this inning with no damage done, it would be huge. But here comes trouble in the former first baseman Holder. She singled, stole a base, and scored a run. Part of that one-run second inning. Off speed, pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count here. What a great play by Madison Carnes there at second to rob a base hit and possibly, I don't know if they would have been able to score the run, but they would have moved her to third. And that pitch across for a strike really jammed up Holden that time. And quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2, is Burns. So awaiting the 0-2 pitch here from Burns. This one lifted, and the second baseman makes another great catch. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Madison Carnes with back-to-back big-time plays there for the Indians defensively to get the Indians out of the inning with no damage done. Nicely done that time over at second by Madison Carnes. We'll move to the bottom half of the inning. 1-1 is your score. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back now as we move to the bottom of the third inning. 1-2 outstanding defensive plays by second baseman Madison Carnes. You got to think that could be some nominees for Wednesday's What a Play Wednesday being presented by Renaissance Bank. Two amazing diving catches.
Number 7, Corey
See if the
Childs.
Indians can use any of that momentum. Any of that momentum here in the bottom half of the inning to retake the lead. Corey Childs pops this one up. And Corey caught a break there as the catcher just could not locate the ball off the bat that time, and it goes back for a strike. Childs, the speedster out of New Sight, trying to sneak her way on base there with a surprise bunt. Instead, fouls it back for strike one. 0-1 is the count here to Childs. Takes a look at that pitch, high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count to Childs. Corey grounded out to second in her first at bat here in game two. See the golf cart running across the outfield. That's ICC President Dr. Jay Allen out enjoying a nice day. I see his family out there in right field as Child nearly hit by that pitch. I'll tell you what, everybody talks as much as we run here at ICC in the Sports Information Department. Dr. Allen makes us look lazy. He stays burning up the roads. 2-1 now is the count here to Corey Childs. Takes a healthy cut at that one, comes up empty. 2-2 now is the count to Corey. Great crowd out this afternoon to support ICC as well as the Tigers of Northeast. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. First batter here in the bottom of the third. Childs rips one, and a great play over there at third. As that time the third baseman just stuck the glove out and said, "Look what I found."
Number 15.
For the first out of the inning. So Tarpley flashing a little bit of leather over there at third base. So now up will be Meg Sullivan. Meg nearly snuck a single into right field in her last at bat, but a nice diving effort out there in right field took it away from her. That pitch hangs up high for a ball. So Sullivan 0 for 1 here in game two, trying to find her first hit of the game. She went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored in the first game. Change up, and it's a beauty. Across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Well, I say it each time at a softball broadcast, when you get a change-up working, it's a very effective and very pretty pitch in the game of softball. But if a player can time up a change-up, they can take it for a ride. That pitch going to miss low. 2-1 now is the count here to Meg Sullivan. Meg out of Springville, Alabama, a sophomore. She's playing in right field here. She sometimes is a DP. Missed a lot of last season, or second part of last season, due to a shoulder injury. As she puts a charge in this one, lifts it out to center field. Center fielder's going to jog back and, makes an adventurous catch out there in center field. As she was able to squeeze it for the second out of the inning there. Northeast fans kind of holding their breath on that one. As it looked like she was
Number 11.
just not too comfortable with
Sam Conley.
some of these deep fly balls. And now up is going to be Samantha Conley. Sam walked but was left stranded at first in her first at bat. That was back in the first inning. Conley takes a look at that first pitch across for a strike. As her walk-up song says, Samantha is from Louisiana. Figure maybe some of her family's watching here on Let's Go ICC TV if they couldn't make the trip up. As that pitch missing high, 1-1 now is the count. Remind you, we will not have the broadcast of ICC softball here on Let's Go ICC TV tomorrow at Hines, but Hines will be providing that broadcast. You can find that link on letsgoicc.com, the softball page. That pitch outside, but that strike zone has been pretty consistent all day today. It's pretty much from box to box, if you will, on that strike zone. So now the count goes 1-2. Conley takes a look at that pitch, and it just stays up just a bit. 2-2 now goes the count here on Samantha Conley. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here for the Indians. 1-1 is your score in the bottom of the third inning, game 2. Conley pops it up. Could be some trouble. Left fielder, though, is going to come in and make the play. So the Indians go 3 up, 3 down there in the bottom of the third inning. We're going to stay tied 1-1 with Northeast here in game 2. We're going to step away and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on letsgoicctv.com. Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
Quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger with crispy golden tots for just $2.99.
Makes me kind of want to do a double take.
Double the beef.
Double the cheese.
Double the smiles.
Oh, yeah.
For a limited time, get a quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger and tots for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back now as we shift to the top of the fourth inning. 1-1 is your score here between ICC and Northeast here in Game 2. ICC was able to come away with an 8-0 win in 5 innings in Game 1. It has been a battle here in Game 2. Northeast with 2 hits so far in the contest. ICC with 1. So Olivia Burns still in the circle here for the Indians. Macy Cox has been getting loose. Also looks like now Mackenzie Toombs going to get loose as well for the Indians in the bullpen. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters up, and here comes trouble in Jones. Jones had an RBI double in her previous at-bat. She just ripped it down the line and left. That was able to push across the run. ICC scored on a sacrifice fly by Hannah Williams after Bailey was hit by a pitch. That pitch right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 now is the count here to Jones. Jones is in right field. She had a nice diving catch to retire Sullivan back in the bottom of the first inning. Change up, and no, that umpire just does not like those high change-ups this afternoon. Good looking pitch there. We've seen some of those good looking pitches out of Northeast as well, just none of them really going the way of either pitcher. And that's, as I said, you just want a consistent strike zone. It's been pretty good today so far. We'll knock on a little bit of wood before we get out of this one. So 2-1 now is the count. That pitch outside and up a little bit. 3-1 now is the count. Well, Burns has thrown a lot of pitches. I think she may be eclipsing the 70 mark. I was thinking she was around that 70-75 mark. Thanks to those Sonic stats from Blake Long, the SID at Northeast. That pitch inside gets away. Runner is going to sprint down to first. And she will get the free pass. So the leadoff runner gets on the board again for the Tigers as the 1, 2, 3 straight innings that the Tigers have been able to get the runner on. And now up is going to be Van Manning, the catcher, who struck out the third of 4 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the day for Burns. So Van Manning, the catcher, will come into bat here. Corners are in, middle of the infield at normal depth. That pitch just misses high for a ball. Well, this umpire does not like any pitches up in the zone. So you can pretty much hold off on any high heat today and be in a pretty good standings of not looking at a strike. Change up, and it was a beauty. Way ahead of that one that time was Van Manning, and 1-1 now is the count. There's no outs and a runner at first. That's Jones, who started the inning off with a walk. So 1-1 is the count, no outs. A runner on first here in the top of the fourth. ICC and Northeast tied at 1. That pitch across for a strike right at the knees, called strike 2. Well, that's where you got to work. You got to work low in this strike zone this afternoon. 1-2 now is the count. Burns looking for her 5th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. Be a big one if she can find it here. 1-2, pitch coming. Instead, ripped over the head of a leaping shortstop, and that's going to be a base hit. Nice piece of hitting that time by Van Manning, and that is going to be the 3rd hit of the day for the Tigers. And now up is going to be Frazier, who reached on an error in her first attempt. And now the Tigers a chance to get something brewing here in the top of the 4th. Runners on first and second with no outs. As we talked about, ICC warming up a couple of pitchers. Saw Macy Cox warming up. Now Mackenzie Toombs warming up here. So the defense kind of getting a shift here. Looks like the corners are coming in. Middle of the infield will stay at normal depth. Outfield, normal depth as well. Fastball missing high. Well, as we said, this umpire's been consistent. He does not like anything high in that zone. Now, anything at the knees, he loves. So you got to work a little bit low in the zone this afternoon. This pitch popped up. Springfield's going to go back infield fly. And that's going to be Springfield to get the first out of the inning. A big out there. They call it the infield fly rule. And so now, 1 out now, and this is going to bring up Webb. Webb struck out looking in her first at bat. That was back in the second inning. Indians got out of the inning in a big way there on a pop-up in foul territory by Sheffield to end the inning. So ICC trying to see if they can do the same here. That pitch right down the middle for a strike as Webb taking on the first pitch. 0-1 now is the count with 1 out. Runners on first and second. 1-1 ball game here between ICC and Northeast in game 2. Tigers trying to avoid the sweep here in Fulton. And that pitch, ooh. But the umpire kind of bid on that one with the batter turning that time. A good-looking pitch, but called a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Once again, that one's up a little bit. And as we said, that the umpire has consistently not called high pitches for strikes today. This pitch fouled back. 1-2 now is the count. So you're pretty much looking below, right around that number area to the knees, maybe even a little below the knees, as the strike zone for the home plate umpire here in game 2. 1-2 is the count. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Burns trying to get another out here. Misses that pitch high. 2-2 goes the count. Couldn't quite get her to chase the rise ball there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second here for the Tigers. Top of the 4th, 1-1 contest here in game 2 between ICC and Northeast. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Big time Renaissance Bank strikeout there of Webb. The 5th strikeout of the day for Burns. And boy, that was a big one there now with 2 outs. And this is going to be Sheffield. Sheffield popped up behind the plate. Conley did a good job of getting the small pop-up for the 3rd out to end the 2nd. And so now Sheffield 0 for 1 today. Indians, boy, if they can find this out here, could get out of a big-time jam. Waiting on that change-up pitch. Hannah Williams pretty much takes a baby step to her left and squeezes it for the put-out. Nice job that time by Olivia Burns to settle down and come back and get the put-out. We're going to move to the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 is your score. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most bestest for $6?
$6? I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza. Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
No.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the 4th inning. ICC and Northeast tied 1-1. Due up for the Indians to be the 4, 5, 6 batters. This is going to be Newsom, Springfield, and Cox. Due up here. Shelby Newsom flew out to center to end the first in her first at bat of the game. A transfer in from Delta State. Newsom swings on the first pitch she sees, but pulls it foul. Well, if you got a scouting report on Shelby Newsom, it's one that says she's very aggressive at the plate. She doesn't waste very many pitches that she thinks she can hit. That first one, a hard hit, but foul for strike one. Springfield is on deck. Newsom playing first base here. She flew out to center to end the first. Stands in, rips that one, and it's foul. Well, that one just fouled by a half a foot. And 0-2 now goes the count here on Newsom. So Newsom got to be careful here. You got to think, as aggressive as she is, you might see something out of the zone or maybe even a changeup here to see if you can't jam her up. And instead they go high, and that one missing. 1-2 now is the count here on Shelby Newsom. Newsom out of Bayou Academy. She lives in Cleveland, Mississippi. As we said, a reverse transfer from Delta State. Looking at a 1-2 count here. Fouls this one out of play, and we'll stay at 1-2. As we said, a beautiful crowd out this afternoon supporting ICC, as well as a great crowd coming out to support Northeast here at the ICC softball complex. You've got people sitting in the left field, out in the right field as well, seeing a instant classic between these two rivals here in game two. And this time just pokes it out there. Reached on one out of the zone, but we'll stay at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs here as Newsom is leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 is your score. So Newsom trying to find a way to win this battle here. Rips it, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Nice at bat that time by Shelby Newsom. The second hit of the day for the Indians, and the first time the second inning that the leadoff batter has been on here for the Indians. Good at bat there. She was able to battle, and eventually put that one out there in shallow left. We're going to have a runner coming in here in this situation, as it's going to be, I believe, Lily Moore. So Moore will come in to run here for the Indians. And I don't really know why there's so much confusion by the home plate umpire. It's pretty simple. 13 for 19 in to run. And he's having a lot of time here figuring out what to do. He finally reports it over to the Northeast dugout, and finally they can switch the runners here.
Runner at first base, Lulu Moore.
So
to the plate for the Lady Indians, number 21, Bailey
Lily Moore
Springfield.
will replace Newsom on the bases, and this is going to bring up Bailey Springfield. Bailey was hit by a pitch, scored a run on a sacrifice fly by Hannah Williams back in the second. Moore at first. A little pitch out to see if she might be going on that first pitch there. She did not. Ball 1. Bailey was our Sonic star of the game in game 1 after tossing a no-hitter, also going 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles and 2 runs scored in the Indians' 8-0 win. Shows bunt, now pulls back on it. Blisters one, center fielder's going to come up and makes the play. Well, that time, positioned perfectly out there in the outfield was the center fielder. That was Deal, who was able to run up about 5 steps and make the play on the line drive.
Number 30.
And so now up with 1 out and a runner on first. This will be Macy Cox. She singled in her first at bat. Indians want to see if they can get something brewing here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-1 is your score. Game 2 between ICC and Northeast. Harris has pitched pretty well today. Cox swings on this one, pops it straight back, and it's going to get out of play. As it goes behind the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. We speak about the ICC Foundation. Remind you of tomorrow's Bluegrass and Gospel concert. Tickets available at the door, or you can still order them online at iccms.edu/concert. That's iccms.edu/concert. So Cox awaiting the pitch. Hangs up high, 1-1 goes the count here on Macy Cox. So I bring in some extra softballs here. I won't say anything hit deep behind the press box here. You're going swimming to find those. Those balls will be put in the BP bag. So 1-1 now is the count with 1 out. Cox digging in here. Harris trying to get out of this inning. Keep the game tied at 1. There's a runner at first. That's Lily Moore. Cox late on this one, fouls it back and out of play. And we go 1-2 now. Well, Harris has done a pretty good job this afternoon keeping the Indians off balance. So ICC has fouled off a lot of pitches in this one. 1-2 now is the count. So Cox will dig in. There's 1 out and a runner on first. That's Moore running in place of Newsom. So waiting the 1-2 pitch coming. This one lifted to center field. Going to be trouble. Center fielder's rushing over. Can't make the play. Over her head. Moore's going to scamper from first to third, and that's going to be a double. A big-time clutch hit there for the Indians. And ICC takes a 2-1 lead. Cox with her second hit of the day. A clutch double off the wall out there in center field to score more from first. Boy, I tell you what, Lily Moore, quick as a hiccup, did not waste any time going from first to home. Coach Kirk was waving her around from second. I don't think she even picked up on that. She had no doubt that she was coming home. And we're going to have a timeout here taken by Northeast. Timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them. ICC 2, Northeast 1. Let's take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
Quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger with crispy golden tots for just $2.99.
Makes me kind of want to do a double take.
Double the beef.
Double the cheese.
Double the smiles.
Oh, yeah.
For a limited time, get a quarter-pound junior double cheeseburger and tots for just $2.99. This is how you Sonic.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, as we do have a Choice Pawn pitching change here for the Tigers. Did not pick up the number of the young lady entering to pitch. It's going to be the DP. So it's going to be Wallace coming in to pitch here for the Tigers. So Wallace will move out of that DP position and come in to pitch as the runner at second, still belonging to Harris. 2-1 is your score. We're going to step away while Wallace takes her warm-up tosses and hear from more of our sponsors here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. 2-1 ICC with the lead.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After Wallace has taken her warm-up tosses, that appears to be the only Choice Pawn change here. You've got a choice. Choice Pond is your best choice. Looking for a pond loan. They've got locations in Fulton, Tupelo. Also a bunch of them up there in Kentucky if we've got anybody listening in the Kentucky area. That pitch misses in low for a ball. This is Olivia Burns. Boy, she can really help her own cause here with the base hit. With a runner at second, that's Macy Cox, who doubled in a run, as that was Lily Moore, who scored in place of Newsom. That pitch missing outside, 2-0 now. Goes to count here to Olivia Burns. Hear a lot of chatter out there from the ICC dugout trying to pick up an insurance run here. That pitch missing low and inside. 3-0 now is the count. Almost looks like Wallace may have lost her balance a little bit when she's set to deliver that pitch. So 3-0 now is the count here to Olivia Burns. Red light is on. Burns takes the walk. So a 4-pitch walk to Olivia Burns to start the contest here for Wallace. And now up is going to be Hannah Williams. Williams does have an RBI on a sacrifice fly to center field that scored Bailey Springfield back in the second. So Hannah would like to get a base hit here and see if she can get something started for the Indians in the bottom of the 5th inning. Or excuse me, bottom of the 4th inning, I should say.
Northwest assistant basketball coach is from, I think it's like a
So this is going to be Hannah Williams to dig in here. Takes that first pitch. Wow, where did that miss? A good-looking pitch that time, but called low for a ball. Well, take a look at it there. Pretty much decent depth. Actually, they're creeping in a little bit in front of the bases on the corners. Middle infield stays the same. That pitch hangs up high. The outfield, however, center fielder is playing deep. Left and right field, they're backing up a little bit now. Right fielder's backing up. Left field playing normal depth here at the ballpark. 2-0 is the count here to Hannah Williams. Vasquez is on deck for the Indians. That pitch looked lower than the last one, but called a strike, maybe a makeup call there. It's the ICC golf coach, Carrie Simmons, former assistant coach here at ICC. Trying to get up behind the Indians here this afternoon. So the 2-1 pitch coming. That was a beauty, as that one was right down Broadway, jammed up Williams, and now the count goes 2-2. Nicely done by Wallace to battle back after delivering 6 straight balls. Now has filled up the strike zone, even the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second here for the Indians. And Williams chases a breaking pitch away from the batter. A great pitch that time from Wallace, and that's a Renaissance Bank strikeout, the first of the day for Wallace. First time the Indians go down swinging. And now up, it looks like we're going to have a new batter coming in. This is going to be Mackenzie Piper. So Piper will come to the plate here, batting in place of Vasquez.
Mackenzie Piper.
So there's 2 outs in the inning. Mackenzie Piper, she's out of Pell City, Alabama. Wanting to battle back here and see if she can spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. They have scored a run so far. Here at the bottom of the 4th, they lead it 2-1 here in Game 2 against Northeast. That pitch missing outside. 1-0 now is the count. At second, that's Macy Cox. Over at first is Olivia Burns, who walked. Cox doubled in a run. So 1-0 is the count here to Mackenzie Piper, batting in place of JoJo Vasquez. Piper, hard hit, ground ball to the second baseman, tosses it over to first in time for the putout. 4-3 for those of you scoring at home. So the Indians get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. The ICC leads it now 2-1. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some changes made here for the Indians, so let's go over that real quick. Blake, I'm just going to go through the lineup for you. Inside the circle, Macy Cox, who was the DP, now the pitcher, so the DP's dead for the Indians. Behind the plate is going to be Sam Conley. In the infield, third base now is going to be Olivia Burns. Shortstop is still Bailey Springfield. The second baseman is still Madison Carnes. The first baseman is Shelby Newsom. That's where she was before. Out in left field now is Haley Reed. She's wearing number 8. Center fielder is still Corey Childs. And the right fielder is still Meg Sullivan. So that is your choice pond changes there for the Indians.
Number 3, Paige Deal.
To go back to the top of the lineup here for Northeast, it's going to be Paige Deal.
Vasquez is dead, right?
Yes, Vasquez is out at third. She's been replaced by Burns. And that pitch is across for a strike. So your changes for the Indians, the new pitcher, Macy Cox, new third baseman, Olivia Burns, and new left fielder is Haley Reed. That pitch across for a strike. Quickly ahead in the counts now is Macy Cox. Is quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2. So Deal, who walked, stole the base. That's Cox that time. Just threw that one away, see if you couldn't get her to chase. 1-1-2 now goes the count here on Deal.
So the DP's not dead. Well, he was the DP.
Okay, so the DP is not dead, is what you're saying. So the DP is now pitching. As that pitch goes high, misses for a ball. So the DP is still alive here for the Indians. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs to Deal, who is leading off the inning here. She led off the first, led off the third. Ground ball, shortstop, Springfield gloves it, throws it across the way. In time, bang, bang play. Great stretch over there at first by Newsom to get the first out of the inning. Score that one 6-3 on the putout of Deal.
Number 19, Brianna Tarpley.
And now Tarpley, the third baseman, will come to the plate. 0-2 on the afternoon, or I should say here in game 2. She was 0 for 2 in the first game of the day. And so 1 out now and nobody on. Tarpley will dig in. Looks at the changeup. Well, ahead of that one, fouls it off for strike 1. Well, crowd continues to fill in here at the ICC softball complex. They'll be on the road at Hines tomorrow. That'll be on like Hines ccsports.net/channel_1. It's a mile long to type in for that one, but we do appreciate our friends at Hines for broadcasting those games tomorrow. This pitch fouled back off the netting for strike 2. You have a lot of fans taking advantage of the outfield. Beautiful day for softball. A little chilly, but nothing too bad. If you complain about this weather, it's only because you stepped in a mud puddle. 1-2 now is the count. Pitch coming. Missing outside. 2-2 now goes the count here on Tarpley. I believe Wallace, the DP, should be on deck. Saw Andy Lee for WTVA here earlier this afternoon. You can look for Game 1 highlights on WTVA. A hard hit ground ball to the second baseman. Ends up in the outfield, and that's going to be an error. And so Carnes just did not get in front of that one that time. E4 on the play.
Number 21, Callie Wallace.
And so that's going to be a 1-out error there And so a runner on now, and this is going to be the DP Wallace, who is 0 for 2. She was robbed of a base hit by a great play by Carnes in her last at-bat. She struck out to end the first in her first at-bat of the day. 2-1 is your score. ICC and Northeast here in Game 2. ICC won the first game of the day 8-0 in 5 innings. There was a little off-speed pitch that hung up that time for Macy. 1-0 is the count. Baseball will be on the road tomorrow. You can check that one out on the Blue Channel. They'll be traveling to Snead State for a pair of games there. This pitch popped up high, and it's going to get out of play. And now the count evens up at 1-1. You got a lot of room towards the dugouts as the fences flare back towards the dugouts, so you got some room to play with over there. But that one gets out of play. 1-1 now is the count with 1 out and a runner on first here for the Tigers. Great crowd out there in right field, and I believe they're all tied to the Allen family. Emma and Mo and Miss Belinda and Dr. Allen out there. This pitch popped up high into the outfield. Haley Reed will step underneath it and squeeze it for the out. So 2 away now. And this is going to bring up Holden, who single scored a run after stealing a base back in the second.
Austin Holden.
And she too was robbed for a base hit after a great play at second base to end the third by Madison Carnes. And so now 2 outs and a runner on first. ICC trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. They lead it 2-1. Cox first pitch across for a strike. So a nice breeze cutting through the ICC Foundation broadcast booth here. Raphael Henry will have the call of baseball tomorrow at Snead State on the Blue Channel. Big swing and a miss there. Strike 2 as Holden took a healthy chop at that one. Could not find it. Boy, it'd be a big time for the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day here for Macy Cox if she can find it. 0-2 pitch coming. Low and outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. Trying to see if she'd go fishing on a beautiful afternoon here in Fulton, but she decided not to. 1-2 now is the count with 2 outs and a runner at first for the Tigers. That pitch missing outside. Count evens up now at 2-2. Well, this game originally scheduled for Wednesday, and if you didn't go outside Wednesday, it rained a lot, so we couldn't play it then. And jammed her that time as she was able to find a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. So we'll do it all over again at 2-2. We couldn't play Thursday because it rained so much on Wednesday. It had to keep raining on Thursday. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised we're playing today. Just shows what kind of field conditions we have here at ICC. Some great conditions to play on. Even when the ball goes to the outfield, don't see a lot of water flying up. And that's when nicely pulled foul that time. It kind of jammed her on the inside, doing a good job of finding a piece of that one to keep the at-bat alive. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th inning, ICC, with a 2-1 lead. Tigers trying to find that run they gave up in the bottom of the 4th, back here in the top of the 5th, with a runner on first with 2 outs. 2-2 is the count. Macy's pitch coming, and again, fouls it off to keep the at-bat alive. See a lot of the ICC baseball players starting to make their way out to the ballpark right now. As we said, they'll be on the road, non-conference play against Snead State out in Boaz, Alabama. 2-2 is coming. That one fouled off. Nice at-bat right now by Holden. Fouling this one off back and forth. It's about a 3-hour ride out to Boaz. Of course, no longer known for all the factory outlets, but back in the days whenever we were all growing up, that's where you went shopping. Mom and your aunts made like plans for days. Jeremy Kennedy says, no, he's a Memphis guy. I forget. You're on the other side of the state, Jeremy. And this one lifted. Center fielder is going to make a few steps over and squeezes it for the out. As that was center fielder Corey Childs getting the 3rd out of the inning. Get out of the inning with no damage done there. 2-1 is your score. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th inning after this here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back as we get set for the bottom of the 5th inning. We do have a couple of choice Pawn changes here for the Tigers. At shortstop now is going to be Gerhardt. And out in center field is going to be Jordan for the Tigers. Those position changes being brought to you by Choice Pawn. Need a pawn loan? Make the right choice and choose Choice Pawn. They've got locations near the T intersection here in Fulton. Also out in Tupelo, Birmingham, locations throughout Kentucky as well. Check them out at choicepawn.com. We go to the top of the lineup here for the Indians. They lead 2-1. It'll be Corey Childs leading things off. Takes that first pitch low for a ball. Well, if anybody's wondering who I was talking to, I wasn't talking to my invisible friend named Jeremy. I was actually talking to my real friend, Jeremy Kennedy, who is doing the play-by-play for Northeast. Do appreciate all the crew from Northeast coming in this afternoon. And even though we're rivals, we get along pretty well. Blake Long, the SID, out there at Northeast doing a great job with stats this afternoon, keeping us updated with all the changes. And you got, really the secret behind everything is Carmen for the Northeast crew. She shot me a mean look, so I had to give her a shout out. Not really. 1-1 count is coming. Slow roller to short. Shortstop's going to throw over and get her by a step. If the infield's in, they make the play. If they're back, they don't. They were in that time. 6-3 to retire Child. She's 0 for 3.
15, Meg Sullivan.
And now up is going to be Meg Sullivan for the Indians. Meg 0 for 2. She flew out to right after a nice diving effort out there in right field. Also flew out to center. So she is put the bat on the ball, just put them where they ain't, or put them where they at. Playing a little atom ball here. Is that pitch across for a strike? So we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Game 2, ICC. Trying to pick up some insurance runs here. 2-1 is your score, ICC. That pitch hangs up just a bit high. 1-1 is the count now, or is it 2-1? I think it's 1-1. 1-1 is the count. One ball, one strike, one out, nobody on. That pitch just outside. 2-1 now. Goes the count here on Sullivan. Well, as we said, visit letsgoicc.com tomorrow, or for the links for tomorrow's softball game. We'll also put those on Twitter as well. This pitch popped up. Left fielder having to hurry. Shortstop comes over and can't find it. The ball is actually going to drop in between the two and heads up base running by the shortstop. Nobody touched the ball, so it dropped cleanly that time, so we're going to give her a double. So we're going to give a double there for Sullivan.
Sam Conley.
And one of those where the left fielder was playing back because Sullivan does have a lot of power. She was able to muscle that one out. Shortstop was at an awkward angle trying to turn back at it that time. Could not find it. It drops in between the two of them. And so that's going to be a double there. Big time hit with one out in the inning. And this is going to be Samantha Conley. Sam coming to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with the walk. Conley takes a look at that first pitch. A beautiful pitch, but called a ball. Wow. That one just a little too low for the umpire's liking. 1-0 is the count here with the runner on second and 1 out. Conley looks at that one. I don't know. I honestly don't know. As that one looked good for a strike as well. I'm keeping it a double because she had to turn like this to get the ball. She's not a contortionist. Is that pitch across for a strike? Maybe a makeup call there. It's not a hometown score. She had to go out of her way and twist out of her way to try to make the play. That was not a normal score. That was not a normal play for the ball. Ground ball, foul ball. 2-2 now is the count.
I love you, Adam, but a college player's got to make that play.
I'm keeping it a double. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm right, y'all are wrong. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Samantha Conley trying to make it happen here for the Indians. Hard hit ground ball. Nice play at short. Throw over. Good dig. Nice play over there at first. That was Holden over there at first, having to stretch across her body. And makes the play for the second out of the inning. So now up is going to be Shelby Newsom. So Newsom at the plate. Boy, if the Tigers can get out of this inning, it will be huge. And a good pitch, chopped back to the pitcher, and that's going to do it. Nicely done that time by the Tigers to get out of that inning, out of the jam. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We've played 5, and ICC leads it 2-1 here as we move to the top of the 6th. Back with more right after this.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the 6th inning. We've got an instant classic going here between ICC and Northeast in Game 2. Let's give all the credit to Northeast. They could have easily packed this thing up after getting run ruled in the first game, 8-0. They have battled here in this one. ICC was able to take a 2-1 lead. That was back in the bottom of the 4th on a sacrifice fly. That was an RBI double by Cox that gave the Indians a run. The Indians actually scored their first run on a sacrifice fly by Hannah Williams. Of course, when we talk about those sacrifice flies, we talk about the ICC BSU. They meet Monday nights at 7:07. They also meet Wednesdays at lunch. All they ask is bring $2 and a friend. Don't forget $2 for your friends there. You can follow them on Twitter at ICCBSU. That first pitch high for a ball. So it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up here. Jones, Van Manen, and Frazier for the Tigers. That pitch up, but called a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Well, anytime you got the rivals together, you don't feel comfortable with a 1-run lead. Heck, you don't feel comfortable with the 8-0 lead until you get to the 5th inning. Especially against a Tigers team that can knock the cover off the ball when they get the bats going. That beautiful pitch called a strike. 1-2 now is the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here, as this is Jones, who had an RBI double in her first at bat of the day. And can't hang off on that one. That's a Renaissance Bank strikeout. A beautiful location on that pitch there, kind of jammed up the batter, could not hold off as she continued through with her swing, and that's the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Wallace. And so now Van Manning, the catcher, coming to the plate. She's 1 of 2 on the afternoon. She did strike out in her first at-bat, had a single in her previous at-bat, but was left stranded in the 4th. Pitch up for a ball. So 1-0 is the count with 1 out. That pitch inside for a ball. 2-0 now goes to count. This is Van Manning at the plate. She is catching here in game 2. Takes a look at that pitch. And a beautiful frame job that time by Conley. That pitch was high and inside. Conley reached out and snapped that one back in and got the strike called. 2-1 now is the count with 1 out. Outfield shallow here, shifting her a little to the left and center. And that pitch missing low. 3-1 now goes to count. The strike zone continues to shrink as this game goes on. But it's shrinking for both teams, so that's all you ask. It's just consistency when both pitchers are inside the circle. 3-1 now is the count here to Van Manning, the catcher. That pitch. He likes that inside corner, folks. Actually, he likes that inside pitch altogether. 3-2 now is the count. That pitch nearly in the batter's box. And now 3-2 is the count. So the payoff pitch coming from Macy. This one popped up. Drifting over, and is going to drop. Did it get out of the park? Yep. Nope, it just bounced off the fence. And so she'll have another chance at it here. 3-2 is the count. Not a whole lot of life at the ballpark right now. Not out of the dugouts, not out of the fans, really anything. Kind of a awkward atmosphere. I blame Jeremy Kennedy. That's the popular opinion if you're wearing black and gold. 3-2 is the count here. Pitch coming. This one popped up. Third baseman calling everyone off and makes the play. So good job by Macy Cox coming back to win the battle there.
Number 9.
Nice job by
Frazier.
Van Manning to foul off some pitches and keep that at-bat alive, but instead Cox was able to win that one on a pop-up to third baseman. That's Burns now at third. So this is Callie Frazier. She's out of the metropolis of Blue Springs. Is that pitch missing low for a ball? She went to East Union High School. Has some of the most unique colors and mascot amongst the state of Mississippi high schools. And, steps into this one but pulls it foul. Put that one near the parking lot. And so 2 outs now, nobody on. We're in the top of the 6th. Macy getting set to deliver the pitch here. That one missing high and outside. Conley hanging on to it for a second, trying to get the call, but couldn't get it. 2-1 now is the count. If Frazier were to reach, and it'll be Webb, the shortstop, Gerhart, the shortstop, due up for the Tigers. Change up, hangs up, that's a ball. 3-1 now goes the count here. Good job by Frazier being patient at the plate right now. So 3-1 the count here. This pitch fouled straight back. Out of play. It rolls into the ditch. So now the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Payoff pitch coming here. See if Macy can find a way to win this battle as well. Did so in the last at bat. 3-2 pitch coming. This one lifted, but foul out of play. And we'll stay at 3-2. Got to give a lot of credit to these Northeast bats today. They have made the Indians go deep into their pitch counts and have really fouled off a lot of pitches in this contest. But the Indians have found a way to win those battles. Trying to do it again here to end the top of the 6th. 2-1, Indians with the lead here in game 2. This one popped up. Conley going to have to drift back, and it's going to get out of play right on top of us here in the ICC Foundation broadcast booth. Another foul ball. So let's do it again, folks. 3-2 is the count. So any Tiger fans that are watching here or anybody that's in the area would like to go see some softball, you can check out the Tigers in Boonville tomorrow as they take on Meridian. ICC will be on the road at Hines. 3-2 is the count. 2 outs. Payoff pitch coming. Guess what? Foul ball, and we'll do it all over again. So we'll stay here with 3-2 as the count. A battle of epic proportions going on at the plate right now. 3-2 is the count with 2 outs. Payoff pitch coming. And she wins it with the walk. So Frazier, nice at bat that time. Fouled off 3 or 4 pitches. And we'll have a runner coming in here for Frazier. This is going to be Victoria Jones. So Jones will come in to run in this situation. She does represent the tying run here with 2 outs. And this is going to be Gerhardt coming to the plate.
Runner at first base, Victoria Jones.
So Gerhardt batting in place of Webb, who is 0 for 2 on the day. So the Indians trying to get out of this inning here. They've run into a couple of jams late in this ball game. So living life dangerously here with a tying run at first. And Gerhardt at the plate. Gerhardt was 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first game. So that pitch missing low for a ball. Well, the pace has slowed dramatically here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 outs, runner at first. 1-0 is the count here to Gerhardt. And she's hit by the pitch. So now you got the go-ahead run. On base now in the tying run in scoring position. And this is going to be a pitch hitter. This is going to be Wilson. Wilson coming into bat here in place of Sheffield, who was 0 for 2 on the day. So Wilson will come to the plate. Wilson was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts in the first game of the day. ICC with a meeting of the minds out there inside the circle. So now the tying run is in scoring position for the Tigers. 2-1 is your score with 2 outs. We're here in the top of the 6th inning.
Shakira Wilson.
So Wilson will dig in here. Runner at first and second after a hit batter. And now Coach Kurt wants to come out and talk to his Indians. Let's step away and take a break. We'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
I love these soft pretzel twists.
They're so soft and salty, I like to sample them. That was a tongue twister!
Here's another one. Peter Piper picked a pack of perfect pretzels.
Hold up. Your last name is Piper?
Try a new warm and buttery soft pretzel twist with the Sonic Fruit Fizz. This is how you Sonic. The new extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message. Surrender to the toppings. Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after that short meeting of the minds here. Probably want to talk over how they want to play Wilson in this situation. thanks to brother Chris, goes up, says she's batting .250 on the year with 3 extra base hits. So 2 doubles and a homer. So she does pack a little punch at the plate. Takes a look at that first pitch inside for a strike. That home plate umpire really likes that inside part of the plate. I don't know if you're the pitcher. If you don't keep going after that there, see if anything, try to jam Wilson. Don't let her get extended. That pitch. Oh, he wanted to call it a strike. He saw his arms come up, but instead elected to hold off and call it a ball. Low for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Tying run is at second. 2 outs in the inning. Ground ball. Can the Indians get the put out? Burns gets it, throws over in time, and the Indians get out of the jam. A big time out there as Burns zips it over to first to end the inning and stop the threat. Indians hang on to a 2-1 lead now as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Looking for some insurance runs in this one late this evening. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up for ICC. Springfield, Cox, and Burns. As we'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
Nah.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back now as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 ICC with the lead. Wilson and Jones will stay into the contest for the Tigers. Wilson moves to second. Jones to left field. That's some Choice Pond changes there for the Tigers. So it'll be Bailey Springfield to lead things off here for the Indians. She's 0 from 1 here in game 2. She was hit by a pitch and scored on a sacrifice fly by Hannah Williams back in the 2nd. So Bailey Springfield, who was our Sonic star of the game in game 1, trying to get things started here for the Indians in the bottom of the 6th, looking to pick up some insurance runs here for ICC. Springfield looks at that pitch, missing low at the knees for a ball. Starting to hear a little bit of chatter out of the dugout for the Indians. And as soon as I say that, they get quiet. Springfield looks at that pitch high. 2-0 now goes to count to the Manatee, Mississippi native. Went to East Webster High School, played 1 season at Delta State, transferred here to ICC. Former teammate of ICC All-American Mamie Hollenhead, who is at the ballgame today, along with PJ Autry, out supporting their former teammates this afternoon. So the pitcher and catcher wanting to talk things over here. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. ICC nursing a 2-1 lead here. In game 2, they did pick up an 8-0 win in 5 innings behind a no-hitter from Bailey Springfield. She had 9 strikeouts in that game. So 2-0 is the count here. This is Wallace inside the circle for the Tigers. She entered in relief of Harris. That pitch, a beauty, finds the corner of the plate. And 2-1 now is the count. Springfield leading things off. Then it'll be Cox and Burns in behind her. So waiting the pitch here. Springfield jammed, reached down to get that. We're going to have to hurry. Shortstop throws it in time. And good throw that time. Impressive arm by the shortstop. That's Gerhardt. Thought for a second the third baseman might have been able to deflect that one a little
Number
bit,
30,
but did not.
Macy Cox.
Gerhardt cleaned it and zipped it across the first for the first out. Now this will be the DP. Macy Cox coming to the plate. She's a tough out. 2 for 2 on the day. Takes that first pitch, I guess a little low for a ball. She had a single back in the second, double to drive in a run back in the fourth. And that's the difference in the game right now. So waiting the pitch here. Inside, nearly hitting Macy that time. 2-0 goes the count. Looks like ICC going to get maybe Bailey Springfield starting getting loose for the Indians. See if she might start the top of the 7th here, or just getting her loose just in case. Big swing and a miss there by Cox. 2-1 now goes the count. Macy just not looking too comfortable at the plate at this at bat, but she is 2 for 2 with a double and a single and an RBI. So the 2-1 pitch coming. That was a beauty. 2-2 now is the count. Wallace has a very unique pitching motion, I guess you can say. Kind of has a little bit of a side step maybe, or kicks the non-push-off leg knee up. Is that pitch missing a little low and outside? 3-2 now goes the count. Effective either way. A lot of times some of that little extra movement can draw the attention of the batter enough to throw him off. So the 3-2 pitch coming. And fouls it off, and we'll do it all over again. Stop me if you've heard that one before, folks. I've been seeing a lot of batters today foul off these 3-2 counts, especially from the northeast side of things, where they have made the Indians pitching staff throw a lot of pitches this afternoon. ICC with a 2-1 lead. 1 out after a ground out on a nice throw by Gerhardt, retired Springfield, and there's ball 4. Wow. He has liked that pitch all day today, but I guess that one was a little up for his liking there. And the runner will head down to first.
Number 3, Olivia Burns.
So we may have a runner coming in this situation. And that is going to be the case there. So we'll have a runner come in for the Indians. We'll see who they elect to send in here. I believe it's going to be Brittany Adams coming in to run for the Indians. We'll see. That's going to be Brittany Adams coming in to run for Cox.
Runner at first base, number 20, Brittany Adams.
Brittany out of Nettleton. Didn't play last year, listed as a sophomore, so technically you can call her a redshirt freshman. So with 1 out and a runner on first, this is going to be Olivia Burns. Burns stands in, takes that pitch low. She started the game, could really help her on cause here with a base hit. So the first pitch missing low for a ball. Slow roller to the second baseman. Works as well as a sacrifice bunt, as the only play she had was over to first, and now there's 2 outs. And this is going to be the left fielder. This is going to be Haley Reed.
Number 8, Boots Reed.
So now Haley Reed will be coming to the plate here for the Indians, also known as Boots. She's out in left field, a sophomore from Batesville. Takes that first pitch inside for a ball. Runner at second, that's Brittany Adams. Coach Kirk calling time, wanting to talk to his left fielder here. So Adams at second with 2 outs. She's running in place of Macy Cox, who drew a walk. Don't know if Coach Kirk might be just trying to buy a little bit of time for Springfield getting loose in the bullpen right now. So Reed will trot back. Thing about it is, third baseman playing in a little bit. Boots has got pretty good speed if she can get a bunt down and possibly leg that one out. See if the Indians elect to gamble in this one. Instead, there's a slap hit to the shortstop. One play, and it's over, and got her by a step. And that's going to do it. So 6-3, Gerhardt with 2 nice throws over to first, showing off her cannon out at short. We've played 6 ICC. 2-1. Can the Indians hang on to win Game 2 and complete the sweep of the Tigers this afternoon in Fulton? Let's take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back. We have some Choice Pawn changes here for the Indians. Pitching now for ICC is Bailey Springfield, who is moving from shortstop to pitcher. The shortstop now is Rachel Sternisha. Rachel Sternisha, now your shortstop. Rachel Sternisha, now your shortstop. Those are your Choice Pawn changes.
At shortstop will be Rachel Sternisha.
That looks like your only 2 changes there. Bailey Springfield inside the circle and Rachel Sternisha coming in at short. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. ICC trying to hang on to this 2-1 win here to get a rare sweep over the past few years.
Dill has re-entered for Northeast.
So Dill re-enters, so she will be leading things off here for the Tigers. Dill in center field. And so the Indians 3 outs away as Bailey Springfield, who got the win in Game 1, threw a no-hitter over 5 innings, walked 2, struck out 9. She also went 2 for 2 at the plate with 2 run scores with a pair of doubles and a walk. Bailey 0 for 2 here in Game 2. She was also hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the second. Springfield fastball, zips it across for a strike. Boy, a little bit of authority behind that one by Bailey. Infield in a little bit. First base back at normal depth. Second base short and third in. That pitch missing low for a ball. The outfield is shallow, not too shallow though. They're playing her to the left as there is a huge gap out there in right center. Check swing, did she go? Yes, she did. 1-2 is the count. Deal just could not hang off on the high heat that time. 1-2 now is the count here on the center fielder Deal. She's 0 for 2 in the afternoon with a walk and a stolen base. So waiting the pitch here from Springfield. 1-2 pitch coming, and no. Conley freezing for those with flash photography, trying to frame that one. Did not get the frame job. 2-2 now. Goes the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here on Deal. A little slow roller, second baseman coming up, and soft toss over for the putout. 4-3 for those of you that may be scoring at home. So 1 out now. And I believe this is going to be Tarpley. Tarpley, yes it is.
Brianna Tarpley.
She is out of Athens, Alabama. Went to West Limestone High School. She is listed as a freshman pitcher / infielder. So she will dig in with nobody on and 1 out. Springfield in the circle. That pitch hangs up high for a ball. third pitcher of the day for the Indians. Burns started it. Cox came in, and now Springfield trying to close the door. Fastball across for a strike. Paints the outside corner there, did Springfield, to even up the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Sun starting to set here in Fulton. We'll try to shield that from the camera as best we can here late in the contest. That pitch outside for a ball. 2-1 goes the count. So 2-1 now is the count. This pitch fouled back out of play. Brother Chris Burrows has many a talents. He's the ICC BSU director, a very skillful writer, and also has a pretty steady hand to be able to hold the paper to keep the sun from reflecting into the camera here. Appreciate Brother Chris stepping in that situation. Hopefully, you got a pretty good arm like Bailey. Won't have to go too long. 2-2 is the count now. Springfield getting the call from Coach Kirk in the dugout. 2-2 pitch coming. There's strike 3. Painted the corner, did Bailey Springfield, and it was a beauty. Springfield gets the Renaissance Bank strikeout, and now there's 2 outs in the inning. Her first strikeout of the game, 10th strikeout of the day. And this is the thing legends are made of, Brother Chris. Whenever you look back over the annals of time, this performance that we're seeing out of Bailey Springfield this afternoon against the rivals of Northeast. 2 outs now, and this is going to be Wallace at the plate. And that pitch across for a strike as well. You can just tell by the way Bailey's just, her mannerisms inside the circle. She's feeling very confident this afternoon. Ahead in the count, 0-1 with 2 outs, nobody on here. This is Wallace at the plate, the DP. And this one foul back off the netting, and quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2 is Springfield. So Bailey's going to take a second to kind of collect herself here in this situation. As we said, she faced 15 batters in the first game of the day, only pitched 5 innings, so she does have a little bit of extra left in the tank here late in the contest. The 0-2 pitch coming. And just could not get her to go fishing that time. Conley set up a little outside, trying to see if you couldn't get her to chase one. Did not. 1-2 now is the count. Not a bad spot to miss. So awaiting the 1-2 pitch here from Springfield. Toes the rubber. Now set to deliver here for the Indians. This pitch popped up. Carnes calling everyone off, comes up and makes the play, and that'll do it. ICC gets the win in Game 2 by the final score of 2-1. An impressive performance this afternoon by Bailey Springfield. ICC moves to 11-3. Northeast falls to 6-5. ICC, more importantly, 2-0 in conference play. We're going to step away and come back with the Renaissance Bank postgame report right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Itawamba Community College presents the 22nd Annual Bluegrass and Gospel Concert benefiting the ICC Foundation on Saturday, March 3rd at the Davis Event Center in Fulton. This year's performers include the Isaacs, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Aaron Wilburn, Christy Miller, and Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. $20 general admission and $30 reserved seating can be purchased online at iccms.edu/concert. Doors open at 2, music starts at 4. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 862-8039. That's the ICC Bluegrass and Gospel Concert on Saturday, March 3rd in Fulton. This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being presented by the ICC Alumni Association, the Bank of Okolona, the ICC BSU, Choice Pond with locations in Tupelo and Fulton, Buddy Long and the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, Food Giant, the ICC Foundation, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, Little Caesars, Renaissance Bank, Sonic, and the ICC Wesley Foundation.
And welcome back as we put the brakes on today's show as ICC gets the sweep here over Northeast with a 2-1 victory in Game 2. Man, impressive performance today. I got to give Macy Cox, our Sonic star of the game, here for ICC in Game 2. She went 2 for 2 with a walk. She had a double that drove in a run. She also pitched a couple innings as well. Did not give up any hits in those innings and got the Indians actually out of a couple of jams as well to be able to get out of those situations for ICC this afternoon. ICC picks up an 8-0 win in 5 innings behind a no-hit performance by Bailey Springfield in the first game of the day. Take a look at some final stats being brought to you by Sonic. And let's start with ICC. Corey Childs was 0 for 3. Meg Sullivan was 1 for 3 with a double. Conley went 0 for 2 with a walk. Newsom went 1 for 3. She had a single, her courtesy runner for the Indians. That was Lily Moore, scored a run. Then Springfield went 0 for 2. She was hit by a pitch, also scored a run. The DP, Macy Cox, as we said, went 2 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Olivia Burns, she was 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a sacrifice bunt. Hannah Williams had an RBI. She struck out, so she was 0 for 1 on the day with a sacrifice fly to center field. And then Haley Reed was 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Vasquez went 0 for 1, and then Mackenzie Piper 0 for 1 as well. For Northeast, it was Deal on the afternoon. She went 0 for 3 with a walk and a stolen base. Tarpley was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. She did reach, however, on an error. Wallace, the DP, was 0 for 4. She struck out once. Holden, she was 1 for 3 on the day. She had a single, stole a base, and scored a run. Jones had an RBI double, walked, and struck out, so she was 1 of 2 with a walk. Van Manning on the afternoon, she was 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a single. Frazier went 0 for 2 with a walk. Webb was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Sheffield was 0 for 2 as well. Then you had Wilson. Wilson was hit by a pitch. I believe that was Wilson that was hit by a pitch. Okay, it was Wilson. Thank you, Jeremy. And then it was Jones who grounded out 5-3 to go 0 for 1 on the day. ICC will be back in action tomorrow afternoon as they travel to Hines. Once again, that game will not be on the Let's Go ICC TV network. Instead, it will be on, here you go, folks, HinesCCSports.net/channel_1. Just visit letsgoicc.com. We'll have that link available for you tomorrow. ICC picks up 2 to improve to 11-3, 2-0 in conference play. And Northeast falls to 6-5, 0-2 inside conference play. We do want to say a special thank you to Blake Long, the SID at Northeast, for providing stats for us this afternoon. Also, Jeremy Kennedy, Carmen, and the rest of the crew here for Northeast doing a great job there for the Tigers, as always. We do want to say best of luck to Northeast the rest of the way out. That's right. An ICC guy can say good luck to Northeast on the air. So either way it goes, ICC gets 2 here from the Rivals this afternoon, 8-0 in 5 innings, 2-1 in Game 2. We'll see you next time, folks, here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.